welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Caitlin, and our daily life has really changed a lot over the past, few weeks. Today is the 26th of September, and wow, it's been a really crazy, I guess, almost 3 weeks. We welcomed our daughter Penelope into this world on September 8th. Ever since then, our lives have really changed for the better, and we're just so blessed to have this little girl in our life, and I couldn't be more thankful for the support of my family and my friends. Like, it's been very overwhelming, and I just can't say thank you enough for all the food and flowers and gifts. I mean, we just have an incredible support system, and I pray everyone out there that is pregnant or getting ready to have a baby, that you encounter the same thing, because we are really blessed, and there's really just no other feeling like being supported by the people that you love. Okay, grab yourself some coffee or tea or water or soda, whatever you prefer, and let's jump into our birth story, because it was a wild ride, let me tell you. Alright, so I'm just going to jump in, and I've actually gotten a lot of stuff written down in this Bump to Birthday journal. My mom got this for me towards the beginning of my pregnancy, and that was just super cool, writing down, like, oh, bless you, writing down all of the emotions and like symptoms and cravings that I had throughout pregnancy every single week. It was really cool and really fun, so I got to do that. But yeah, let's talk about birth story. So we went in on September 6th, which was a Friday. I've got a calendar right here so I can keep up. We went in on Friday, September 6th, to be induced, and we got there to the hospital around midnight. They started everything. We got in our room, started IVs on me, and then it wasn't until Saturday morning that they started Pitocin. And what was so crazy to me is this is my first baby. I've never experienced this before. I just thought Pitocin worked for everyone, and that just wasn't the case for us. Bless you. Bruno came to join us. He has been loving her, like giving her all kinds of kisses, and he's been so gentle around her too. Golden Retrievers have the best temperament around kids, I swear. So yeah, they started Pitocin Saturday morning, and I reacted okay to it, but baby P, she did not. Her heart rate dropped, and it was just like when I was changing positions, she really just didn't like that either, so I really had to sleep on one side or my back for her, because her heart rate was dropping, and that really wasn't good. So then they stopped Pitocin later that afternoon when we discovered that it really wasn't working for her. And we also found out that I was still progressing on my own without any medication, so we just kind of rode that out. And when I got to the hospital on Friday, I wasn't dilated at all, and then come Saturday morning, afternoonish, I was like half a centimeter dilated. So we go on into Saturday evening, and I'm hitting like 5-6 centimeters, and the pain got increasingly worse, and I had never experienced anything like that before. So once that happened, I asked my nurse if we could get the anesthesiologist in there so that I could get an epidural. And listen, I am not the kind of person that willingly would want to be in so much pain. I have a weak stomach. If I see blood, I faint. Like, it's just not a good thing. So I love modern medicine, and I was going to take any kind of medication that I needed. I wasn't just going to say, like, oh my God, give me all the things that I need or that I want, or, give me everything that you got. no, I wanted to take things that were going to help me through the process, because I wouldn't have made it through without medication. We got the epidural later that night. It was probably like 7 or 8, if I had to guess. Time that day was just, I don't know, not even existent for me. So it was later that evening that I got the epidural. That was honestly the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life, but it really did help with the contractions, and it did help me relax a little bit more so that my body could, dilate. Once I got the epidural, I was still at like a 5 or 6, and that's when my doctor came in and he broke my water for me. Actually, no, my doctor came in before the epidural. See, my brain. And he broke my water before the epidural. And then me and my nurses, we talked, and they said the pain would get increasingly worse after my water was broken. So they made the call before he came. And no, they made the call after he came in and broke my water to get the anesthesiologist on site so that he could give me my epidural. So after the epidural, I was chilling. Like, it was really just watching a monitor to see when I was having contractions, because I couldn't feel them anymore. When you have an epidural, you're like pretty much numb from the waist down, and I was. You can still feel like pressure and stuff, but I couldn't feel a whole lot, which was great. And I did progress to an 8 or 9 centimeters, like well into the night on Saturday. It was probably like midnight or 1 o'clock that I was 8 or 9 centimeters. That would, I guess, technically have been Sunday morning-ish. Then the nurses thought that I was at a 10, fully dilated, and that's when they instructed me to go ahead and start pushing. The doctor was on his way, and that's when things took a turn that I was not expecting. So we were pushing, and about 3 to 4 pushes in, if you can hear that, Bruno is slurping up water, sorry. The nurses told me to stop pushing, and they had checked me again, and one of the nurses was like, I think I feel the cord, which was not a good thing. You don't really want that. And what they were worried about was if the cord was possibly around Penelope's throat. At that point, they called my doctor and they said, you need to get here now. He wasn't far away. He was in the hospital, I think, doing something else. And they flipped me completely upside down, put me on oxygen. And when they did that, there was about 5 or 6 nurses in the room at the time. My mom was in the corner. My husband was in the corner with her. Like, it was just a really scary situation. I was not prepared for. When my doctor came in the room, you could just kind of see all over his face. So he came in and he checked me to see how dilated I was and see if he could feel the cord. And he doesn't think that I was fully dilated to a 10. So that was, one, not a good thing for me to start pushing, because she was already in the birth canal at that time. And he said if she was further through, that he could, bless you baby, could have just, pulled her out. But that wasn't the case either. And with the cord being right there, he could feel it too. He was just not very comfortable with me delivering vaginally. So he looked at my husband, and I could tell on his face. I, at this point, was shaking uncontrollably, crying hysterically, really just trying to breathe so that my heart rate would, be okay, and that I was giving enough oxygen to Penelope, which, sorry, it was just really, really scary in the moment. So the doctor looked at my husband and me, and he said, more my husband, because I was like completely out of it, and he was like, we need to really consider plan B. And what he meant by that was the C-section, the cesarean it's hard to say, the cesarean section. And that's what we ended up doing. About 5 minutes later, we had to, we had to get her out. It was time to get her out before things really became an emergency. They quickly started to prep us for the OR and C-section. They got my anesthesiologist there pretty quickly, actually. They wheeled us out into the OR, and my husband wasn't allowed to come in there until I was fully ready, before they started to, you know, do the work that they needed to do. And that was probably the most scared I've ever been. One, for my daughter and her health and safety. Two, also for my health and safety, because I'm bringing this baby into the world and I'm about to start this new journey with my family, and I want to be there with her. So once they got me fully prepped, Spencer was allowed in the room, and they did the C-section, and she came out a really healthy baby. She was 7 pounds, 1 ounce. And I was just so grateful that she was healthy. She was born at like 2:31 a.m. and we didn't get back from surgery until we were placed in a new room around, I want to say like closer to 4 a.m. And by then I was completely out of it. I was on so much medication because of the surgery and just to manage pain. So it was just really, it was overwhelming, especially when I finally got to hold her, like actually hold her in my arms. It was just the best feeling in the world, knowing that she was okay, knowing I was okay, and that we were, you know, we were kind of in the clear then, you know. Our hospital story is a little bit traumatic, and I tell my friends, I'm like, I was so happy to get out of there. And we actually didn't have to stay. Usually if you have a C-section, you have to stay for 48 hours after the birth, and we were very, very lucky. We got to go home Monday evening, so we really just stayed like 24 hours, if that, after her birth. And I was just so thankful. The recovery has been very exhausting, very painful, but very, very worth it. She is our first daughter, and I wouldn't change anything, because how she came into this world is exactly how God planned it, and that was just how it was meant to be. She's our beautiful little baby, and I'm just so thrilled that we get to start this new journey with her. It's been very eye-opening. I've learned a lot about myself, and I'm still learning a lot about motherhood. It's just so crazy. I'm a mom now, and I have a daughter, and she's just the sweetest little thing. If you have any questions about anything, my journey is mine, and it's also my husband's and my daughter's, so our journey might be a little bit different from somebody else's, and that's okay. I feel like every birth story is different. I just can't wait to share more in life with her. It's definitely been challenging at some points, but we're getting through day by day, and that's really all I can ask for. We are in complete baby bliss, and I'm just so happy. I am. That's our baby story. I am breastfeeding. She's feeding like every 2 to 3 hours. So that's great. I'm not getting a whole lot of sleep at night, but I know she's growing and she needs me right now, so I really just don't mind. Some nights are easier than others, I will say, but that's a part of the journey. I hope you guys are doing well. I know it's been a while since I've seen you, and hopefully I can start, pumping out some videos again here soon. Life is just a little bit crazy right now, a little bit my attention is all on this little one right here, so I will film when I can. If you guys want to keep updated with me, I do mainly post on Instagram. I'll put my handle up here, and just keep up with me there. That's where I'm at mainly, besides YouTube. I hope you and yours are doing well, and I plan to see you guys very, very soon. She's snoring. I don't want to move to wake her up.